What's up everyone, it's Willette with Urbex and Coasters, and today I'm at Wiener Prater. You can see in the distance behind me, you can see Wiener Looping, the mock rides Big Dipper here. I'm wanting to call the ride Big Dipper, but it's called Wiener Looping. You can see they're building another mock coaster with these cranes here currently. I want those to be a ride so badly. But anyway, as for what I've done so far, Wiener Looping, pretty good, but a little pricey, 10 euros per ride. They have no unlimited option here. It's like the Puyallup Fair all over again with no unlimited option. I got 7 laps on Classic Coaster, but I don't know if I'll be able to lap rides here because they have over 200 rides here. So, we'll see what we get in. Definitely trying to get all the coaster credits, and we've currently gotten 6 of them. We're gonna try to get as many as we can. We've gotten a few of the flats. We've gotten the double arm booster and the swing that's on an arrow, and we got some good flipping on that one. So let's see what else we can get. So that breakdance run's the best cycle I've seen. That Vekoma, it gives some good forces, but the seating position is a little awkward. So I will mention that. Here's another look at Wiener Looping. That drop is awesome that near vertical drop into an airtime hill. I think it might be a vertical drop. That's awesome, but you can see this has the awkward seating position like the Schwarzkopf Jetstars, where you're expected to basically ride on someone's lap, so that's awkward. Then you've got this double arm booster here, and sadly I can say the best forces that this ride gives are the wind that it puts in your face when it's doing its thing. It looks better than it rides. First lap bar only boomerang. What do I think of it? Well, the cycle does seem to be running a little bit slow, but I think the ride actually benefits from that because you get a little bit of hang time on the Cobra roll and on the loop. So, you get to feel those forces. So, pretty good. I liked that. It's like Jolly Rancher remixed with the tunnel a little bit, but no flavor effects or anything. But I'd say definitely the best restraints I've experienced on a boomerang, and I like how that one runs. That is an inverting pendulum behind me, and definitely the best inverting pendulum I've done. Probably the best pendulum overall. It runs a really great cycle, has some good hang time, good positives, good air time on some of those swings. Great flat ride. Insider. There's a mouse! There's a mouse! It's a decent one. It's a Mauer spinner mouse, so not the same layout as a lot of the other Mauer spinners, but definitely a cool little layout here. This other Frisbee, the KMG, I'm gonna say good cycle, good ride, bad op. The guy was like, I could see that my restraint was verified, and he decided to be like an op in America about insisting on pushing it down as tightly as he could. That said, I will say he was not as bad as the op on Caracho that put his full weight onto the restraint doing a push-up on me. So I guess there's that for the op on that pendulum, but still. The Descente Sau, a Gerstlauer bobsled, has some elements of a mouse. So there's a mouse in there, but it's a pretty good one. Has some zippy drops that have a little bit of weak floater air time, and the ops don't push down. So I'd say it's one of the better of these Gerstlauer bobsleds. Those are powered rails, so hashtag not a coaster, hashtag I don't ride this one because this park's pay per ride. This Tagada is awesome. So why'd they go ahead and theme it to a city that's full of abandoned rides that you can't ride, that just makes you sad as an enthusiast? You might enjoy it if you're into urbex, but it makes you sad as an enthusiast. It's themed to Las Vegas. Good ride though. And I am saying that all tongue in light of some of the stuff that's on RCGB, I'm honestly shocked they don't have this thing on there. There's a Gerstlauer spinner here. It's not the standard layout, but the standard layout's probably better. This one has a bit of a dark ride section to start and an elevator lift though, so that's cool for uniqueness, I guess. Hashoban, the classic wooden coaster here. It's got some decent theming. My First Scenic Railway has the brake person element to it. It dates back to 1950, but it does have a history of having replaced a ride that had the same name that was older that burned down. So, I mean, I would think that ride might use some parts from that previous ride. Like, I could definitely see the trains being reused. I could see them having something that survived from that previous ride that's in the one that's here currently. So, you know, that's pretty cool. And yeah, as for the ride itself, not too forceful, but you know, it's cool to be able to say you rode your first scenic railway when there aren't too many of those left. So that's awesome, I feel like, to be able to get to say I rode something like that, and it's a fun little ride. And I just got race. That should be credit completion here at Wiener Prater for me. I've gotten 12 of 13, and that 13th is Autobergbahn, which that's a kiddie coaster that I have heard they don't let adults ride, but race here, this runs better than it looks. I'm gonna say that. Runs better than it looks, has some laterals around that downward helix, so don't skip this one. So, I mean, I do wanna get some footage of this because as you can see, this has been around since 1948, but you can see how tiny this thing is, and doesn't look like we can ride it because those cars are tiny, but I mean, I could fit in them, but we don't want to break that chain. So we want to preserve the history. We don't want to break it. Well, this is the biggest miss of the trip so far. Seems like we're not going to get Black Mamba here, which was Canopy Coaster's favorite ride here. So sad about that because, you know, I feel like this could be a really great ride, and possibly better than that Black Mamba at Phantasialand. But looks like this is gonna be a miss on this trip. Wanted to stop by so that I'm saying that I didn't skip doing this, it just was dead. No spoilers, but we did ride this dark ride here. It's themed to Pirates of the Caribbean. Wonder how Disney would feel about that one. So the pirate is very elaborately themed. It's got some great practical sets in there. Highly recommend it. One of the best dark rides I have done. So definitely don't skip this one just because you're here for coasters and flat rides. This is an excellent, excellent dark ride. I will say though, I do have one criticism of it, and you're really using 2 levels and not doing anything with gravity in there. Yeah, I was half expecting there to be a drop track, and there wasn't one, so don't get your hopes up for one and then have it not happen, but great dark ride. Hotel Psycho uses the same ride system as that last dark ride we did with the Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm gonna say I prefer the Pirates of the Caribbean ride because it feels like the Pirates one has more sets to it. Hotel Psycho, it feels more like it's hiding an empty building through loud music and dark rooms. And you can see light leaking in certain parts of the building. Still an enjoyable dark ride. Has some, what it does well. Does better than what you would expect any carnival dark ride to do, but it still does underperform with the expectation of, hey, this is the same ride system as the Pirates of the Caribbean dark ride that they have here. So I just rode the Moser Ecstasy, and wow, that gives some good forces with the spinning and the hang time. It gives good forces. I will say not as good as it was hyped up to be, but it is awesome. Definitely don't skip it. Has good, like, it gives you air time when it's doing the vertical spins. You get a nice long stretch of hang time. Although it is manually operated, so your cycle may vary. I did ask for full speed, but you know, you can't give a 100% guarantee that there wasn't a language barrier around it. Also, is that a B&M? First time hearing this park has a B&M. Look at that, that's totally a B&M.